Unlock the power within. Imagine this, you're driving down a foggy road. The headlights barely cut through the haze, making every turn uncertain and every mile feel like a gamble. That fog? It's your mindset when clouded by doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs. Now picture the same road under a clear, starry sky. The path ahead is sharp and vivid, each twist and turn navigable with ease. That clarity? It's the power of mastering your mindset. Your mindset is the silent architect of your life, shaping your reality one thought at a time. This isn't just about thinking positive, it's about transforming your internal narrative, challenging what you've been told to believe, and aligning your thoughts with the life you truly deserve. This book will take you on a journey through the art of mastering your mindset, with real stories of transformation to inspire you. Each chapter reveals practical strategies, weaving in narratives of those who've redefined their lives by shifting their thinking. Let's embark on this journey to clarity, confidence, and abundance. The fog that holds us back. Mia sat at her kitchen table, staring at a rejection email from a job she desperately wanted. It wasn't the first one. She sighed, her thoughts spiraling, I'll never be good enough. Everyone else has what it takes, but not me. Mia's internal dialogue mirrored the mindset she had carried for years, shaped by subtle criticisms and past failures. The job rejection wasn't the real barrier, it was the belief she didn't deserve success. The truth is, we all have our own version of Mia's story. The scripts we run in our minds, I'm not smart enough, I always fail, or people like me don't succeed, act as invisible barriers. These aren't facts, they're beliefs, often planted by experiences or voices from our past. The turning point. One evening, Mia decided she'd had enough. She dusted off an old notebook and wrote down every limiting thought that came to mind. Seeing them on paper was a revelation. She realized how much power she had given to these words, letting them dictate her choices and actions. Inspired, Mia began rewriting her story. Instead of, I'll never be good enough, she wrote, I'm constantly learning and growing. My past doesn't define my future. I'm capable of achieving great things. She didn't just write these affirmations, she said them out loud every morning, imagining a version of herself who had already succeeded. Rewiring the mind. Mia's journey didn't stop at affirmations. She started visualizing her goals vividly. Before her next job interview, she imagined walking into the room with confidence, answering questions with ease, and shaking hands as she was offered the position. Visualization wasn't just wishful thinking, it primed her brain to expect success. Science backs this up. When you visualize a positive outcome, your brain creates neural pathways as if the event has already happened. These pathways guide your actions, making success feel natural. Mia's next interview was different. She walked in with the belief that she was deserving of the role, and that energy radiated. A week later, she received an offer letter. The gratitude shift. Gratitude was another tool Mia used to transform her mindset. Instead of dwelling on what she didn't have, she started keeping a gratitude journal. At first, it felt forced. What was there to be grateful for when she felt so stuck? But as she wrote, something shifted. She listed small victories. The friend who cheered her on, the free online course that taught her new skills, the time to focus on personal growth. Gratitude rewired Mia's focus, helping her see abundance where she once saw lack. She began each day with a renewed sense of possibility, which fueled her confidence and determination. Learning from setbacks. Even after landing her dream job, Mia faced challenges. Deadlines loomed, and self-doubt crept back. But this time, she approached setbacks differently. Mia remembered a story her mentor once shared. Think of life as climbing a mountain, the mentor said. Each stumble isn't a failure, it's a lesson in where to place your foot next. The view from the top isn't sweeter because it was easy, it's sweeter because you earned it. Whenever Mia struggled, she asked herself, What is this experience teaching me? How can I grow from this? Failures became stepping stones, not dead ends. The ripple effect. Mia's mindset didn't just change her career, it transformed her relationships, health, and happiness. She approached conversations with curiosity instead of defensiveness, finding deeper connections with friends and family. She took care of her body, recognizing that mental and physical health are deeply intertwined. Morning runs became her meditation, and each mile reinforced her belief in her strength. Mia's transformation inspired those around her. Her best friend began journaling. Her colleagues started practicing visualization. And together, they created a ripple of positivity and growth. Echoes of the past. John often reflected on the stories his grandfather shared, seeking wisdom in the quiet moments of recollection. His grandfather, a humble watchmaker in a quaint town, wasn't someone the world would call extraordinary. Yet, he had a habit that John cherished deeply, a ritual that shaped not just his craft but his entire life. Every morning, before the shop opened, John's grandfather would sit by the window, watch the sun rise over the rooftops, and quietly wind an old pocket watch. This, he would tell young John, isn't just about the watch. It's about setting my own rhythm before the world imposes its chaos on me. John found himself recalling those moments during the busiest days of his adult life. Whenever deadlines loomed, and distractions piled high, he paused. He thought of his grandfather's deliberate calmness and began adopting his own version of the ritual, a few minutes of silence with a cup of tea, mentally organizing his priorities. This act became a cornerstone of his success, reminding him that mastering his mindset started with mastering his mornings. The power of small wins. Years later, John's friend, Lisa, faced her own struggle. She had a dream of launching a bakery, but the enormity of the task overwhelmed her. "I'm not ready," she confessed over coffee one day. "I don't even know where to start." John shared a story from his early career, how he once faced a monumental project that seemed impossible. Instead of tackling everything at once, he focused on small wins. The first was organizing his workspace. The next was dedicating 2 hours daily to learning the required skills. Each win, no matter how small, gave him momentum. Inspired, Lisa decided to start with a single recipe, perfecting her grandmother's chocolate cake. She baked every night, shared samples with neighbors, and collected feedback. Within weeks, her confidence grew. A year later, her bakery became a cherished spot in town. Not because of one grand leap but because of countless small, intentional steps. The mirror moment. One pivotal evening, John found himself questioning his direction. He stood before a mirror, staring at his reflection. "Who am I working for?" he asked. The demands of his job had overshadowed his dreams. That night, he wrote a question in his journal: "What do I truly deserve?" The answer didn't come immediately, but over the weeks, through moments of reflection, he realized that he had been chasing goals that weren't aligned with his values. This epiphany led him to prioritize projects that resonated with his passion for creativity. By aligning his work with his core beliefs, John not only felt more fulfilled but also saw his efforts yield far greater results. Rethinking failure. John's mindset shifted further after a conversation with a mentor. He had been lamenting a recent business pitch that fell flat. "I failed," he admitted, frustration evident. His mentor smiled. "Do you know Thomas Edison's story?" he asked. When asked about his failed attempts at creating the light bulb, Edison said, "I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That perspective stayed with John. He reframed the experience, analyzing what went wrong and what he could improve. The next pitch wasn't perfect, but it was better. And eventually, he secured a deal with a client that aligned perfectly with his vision. Failure, he learned, wasn't a verdict, it was a lesson. Gratitude as a compass. Amid all his self-discovery, John realized the power of gratitude. Every evening, before shutting down his laptop, he wrote 3 things he was thankful for that day. Some days, it was as simple as a kind word from a stranger or a well-executed task. Other days, it was deeper, a connection renewed or a breakthrough idea. Gratitude, he found, wasn't just about acknowledging the good in his life, it was a way of guiding his thoughts toward positivity. It reminded him of his progress, anchored him in the present, and motivated him to continue striving. Over time, this practice of gratitude became a cornerstone of John's life, ensuring that no matter how high he aimed or how hard he fell, he remained grounded and optimistic. Conclusion: becoming the architect of your life. Mastering your mindset isn't a one-time effort, it's a lifelong practice. But as Mia discovered, every thought you shift, every belief you challenge, and every action you take brings you closer to your true potential. Your life reflects the stories you tell yourself. Make them stories of resilience, growth, and possibility. Believe you deserve the best. And watch as the world mirrors that belief back to you. Your journey starts now. Take the first step with courage and clarity. And know that you hold the key to a life beyond your wildest dreams.